two student athletes, Ben McLemore and Jeff Withey. Coach, will call on you first for your assessment of today's victory.
Obviously we were pretty efficient offensively when we didn't turn it over, and Ben got us off to a good start, and then we kind of puttered around but played a pretty good second half. So and our defense was pretty good, except we just fouled so much. So thought it was a pretty good effort.
Okay, let's go to questions for our student athletes and come back for Coach. Who wants to go first for one of them, for Jeff or Ben? Surely someone. Okay, guys, on the extreme left.
Dave started with AP. Jeff, after you guys started puttering around, as Bill said, what was the difference? What got you guys back into rhythm in the second half?
We just knew kind of that we had to step up and bring more energy. Ben helped us out a lot and gave us a lot of energy by scoring, and then one stop kind of led to two. Whenever we're kind of tenacious on defense, it kind of helps our offense out a lot. Second half we did a little bit better job on defense, and that kind of just gave us more energy.
Okay, here on the front left side.
Jeff, Rustin Dyer from the Kansas City Star. Is this you've been through this a couple of times, is this a tough game to play during the day? A team you've already played 2 times, kind of with an environment that's not maybe like you guys are used to?
I want to say it's a tough game. We got ready for it this whole last week. We had practice earlier, and we knew that Spring Center Beverly wasn't going to be packed, but there was a good crowd out there, and it was. I wouldn't say it was a tough game at all to play. We were ready.
Okay, any other questions for, yep, here on the left, extreme left.
For Ben and Jeff both, you guys played a couple of pretty interesting games against Iowa State. Just your thoughts on getting them a third time?
We just gonna get ready as a team, and just go out there and just play Kansas basketball.
We're excited to be able to play them again. There's a lot of controversy and stuff like that, and it'll be a fun game, I feel like, so it'll be a good one.
Okay, again on the left.
Jeffrey Calvert, Daily Kansan. This is unlike in the regular season. You guys are playing games back-to-back days. So what have you been doing this week to prepare for the possibility, the reality of playing multiple games back-to-back days, not having days off?
We practice every day, so it's not too much of a difference. Being a senior, I can look back and see how important it is just to, when you're in your hotel, you gotta rest and take care of your body, and drink a lot of water, and not just horse around in the hotel. That's pretty much all it comes down to. And so that's all you gotta do. It's just take care of your body.
Okay, anything else? All right, on the right side.
Shane Ewing, Cake TV, Wichita. This is for Ben. Ben, you say you guys play Kansas basketball. It's a beautiful thing, but 66% field goal percentage is even better than a lot of people have seen so far. So what was going right for you guys? What was keeping the hands hot tonight?
We was playing as a team, just move the ball around, making extra passes to each other, and just create for each other. And like you said, we shooting 66%, which is great, and we just trying to get each other involved more.
Okay, anything else? Okay, guys, well, we'll have one question, and then we will let you go back to the locker room. Tim?
Hey, I'm Tim Griffin with the Express News in San Antonio. You guys had some struggles in Waco on Saturday. What was the key of turning things back, and was that kind of a teaching moment as you guys got ready for the game coming up today?
Yeah, we came out flat against Baylor, and we made it. We had a couple of tough days of practice just to get ready for that, and we know that we can't come flat because we become really average and not a very good team. And so thankfully today Ben was able to come out and he was on fire and kind of got everybody going. And so we got to just come out ready to play every time. And we're just going to learn from our losses, and during this time of the season we can't have any more of those.
Okay, thank you very much, Ben and Jeff. We'll let you go back to the locker room with your SID, Chris Tyson. Remember, the KU locker room is open for up to 30 minutes. Questions now for Coach Self. And the first one is in the extreme back part of the room.
Todd Lebo, Sports Radio 810. Coach, everyone's looking forward to this game tomorrow. The Iowa State guys are looking forward to playing you guys. Some of the players talk about payback for a couple of close losses. What do you expect tomorrow out of this game against Iowa State?
Well, I think it'll be a terrific basketball game. They're good, and they can stretch it from all 5 spots. And it's a hard matchup for us in a lot of ways because it gets Jeff away from the basket, defensively, and that's where he's so good, is protecting the rim. So, you're right. We've had 2 classic games with them this year. The 2 games may be the 2 best games, most exciting games played in our league this year, just about. I mean, there's been some other great games, but they've both been classics, and we've been fortunate in both games. But we've also had some players step up and make some plays too. But they're very capable of beating anybody, and we know we're going to have to play very, very well. And we look forward to the challenge.
On the front.
Doug Tucker, the Associated Press. Bill, in light of the controversy, your last game at Iowa State, and the fact that the conference office even made a public statement about it, are you concerned that the officials tomorrow might be inclined to try to go the extra mile to make sure that Iowa State doesn't have any complaints?
I hadn't thought about that because the officials are pros. I mean they're pros, and that won't even register in an official's mind. If it does, then they're not a pro. But we got good guys calling the games. We had good guys calling the game in Ames, and I'm not going to make light of it. We benefited from a no call late, but there's a lot of calls during the course of a game. There's not just the calls that are at the very end of a game that can affect it, but there's a lot of calls during the course of the game, and we benefited, and it created interest and controversy and attention and things like that. But if in fact it would play out the way that you asked the question, then I would say that our league wouldn't be anywhere close to what it is. I mean, that won't even register in anybody's mind, I don't believe, going forward. Great officials, 2 good teams, should be a lot of fun.
Okay, left side aisle.
David Smale, Sports Exchange. Coach, just talk about the run at the end of the first half and start of the second half that opened up a close game and pretty much let you coast. Well, we started the game great, and we ended the first half really well, even though it was a modest 5-0 run, but it was one of those deals, 29-25, I think, with the under 4 timeout, and then we ended up finishing the half right to get it to 9, and then, of course, I think it was Jeff's only points of the half was the last 5 we scored, if I'm not mistaken, and then the second half, we came out and we played very well. Both halves got us off to a great start. But the big thing we have to do defensively, we got to play without fouling. We just fouled way too much second half. I mean, I think with about 6 minutes left, they had 2 field goals, but they'd made 16 free throws or whatever. So we got to do a better job of that.
Okay, let's go to the right, toward the middle.
Shane Ewing, Kick TV. Coach, is Iowa State even more dangerous because they come into this tournament as one of the preeminent bubble teams?
They're not a bubble team. I don't even think that Fred could sell to his team that they're a bubble team for motivation. They're in the tournament. And I also believe that he doesn't need to try real hard to motivate his team, just like I hope I don't have to try real hard to motivate mine. So it'll be 2 NCAA tournament teams hooking up and playing tomorrow.
Again on the right.
Bill, Tim Griffin with San Antonio Express News. Talk about the teaching points you got coming out of Waco as you got ready for the tournament, and what do you think that was good for the team to have those tough practices?
Well, I don't think I'd rather learn through winning than learn through losing. But if you're going to lose, you might as well learn. And we've been on a pretty good roll, winning 7 in a row and playing some of our better ball during conference play during that stretch. And And I don't know if I agree with Jeff. I don't think we came out flat. I think we came out just off a little bit, and I thought Baylor was really on. And, you know, it's a 30-28 game. It's a 6-point game with 6 minutes left. And, you know, there'd be a lot of times that when Baylor's playing really well that we'd have to play pretty well for it to be a 6-point game with 6 minutes left. And we didn't do that, but we just closed the game miserably and never put ourselves in a chance to win. So there were some things to learn, because the biggest thing that you can learn is there's no more safety nets. Just like the seniors playing. I mean, there's no safety net. You're on a tightrope, and there's no net to catch anymore because there's not a next year. And the sophomores and freshmen and juniors, there is a next year. So that's the same way with the NCAA tournament postseason. There's no safety net. So there needs to be some pressures like that to get your team to perform well. And you know, that may have helped us a little bit. I really don't know. Jury's still out. We'll see what happens moving forward.
Have time for one last question for Coach in the back on the right.
Danny Harkins, 6'10", here in Kansas City. Ben McLemore's, the number of shots he's taken, his aggressiveness has kind of been a storyline all year. Obviously came out very aggressive tonight. Is there anything that you've done or talked to him about as he's clearly such a talented player, that the type of skill that could carry you through a tournament if he is aggressive for whole games?
I don't talk to Ben like that. Like, you know, I guess in baseball you can have a cleanup hitter that can carry a team during a stretch or something like that. I haven't approached Ben like that. I know he's capable of getting 20 or 25 any night. He knows he's capable of doing that. But the biggest thing that he's got to do is put himself in position to shoot the basketball or to drive it if they crowd him. And practice or in recent games or whatnot, he has done that. So really, since the Iowa State game up there, he didn't put himself in the game at Iowa State as well. And I think he only had 7 points. So that's something that I know that we'll have to look at that tape and show him how he can be more aggressive and how they want to defend him.
Okay, Coach, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Congratulations.